This is an unaware ad that is absolutely crushing it right now.
You don't have arthritis, you don't have cancer, you don't have all these health disorders. What you have is chronic inflammation.
This is completely AI, and if I were to ask you to guess what they're selling, I don't think you could actually guess it. I'll give you a couple seconds. Guess what they're selling. They're selling bloody bed sheets. Just think about that for a second. How the hell did we go from anti-inflammatory secret is out? You don't have these diseases, you don't have these disorders, and you end up selling them bloody bed sheets. Just think about that for a second, right? This is a masterclass on how unaware ads actually work, and we will actually analyze how this ad works near the end of the video. But this is the power of creating unaware ads. 134,000 likes, 13,000 comments, 41 million views. There's literally this girl, or lady I should say. Yes, I got one. I have chronic inflammation and it's helped a lot. I just ordered mine, pray it would work for me. Just think about that for a second. How the hell did we go from this
You don't have arthritis.
to grounding well bed sheets? Right? This is the power of what I'm about to teach you here today. Now, you might have clicked on this video for a template or a fill in the blank. This video has clickbaited you, right? This video has literally clickbaited you because if I were to give you a template or a fill in the blanks kind of thing, it just wouldn't actually help you because I'm only feeding you for a day. I'm giving you a fish, right? You won't be hungry today, but you'll be hungry tomorrow. But I want to teach you how to fish, right? I hope that makes sense. That sort of analogy where I want to teach you how to fish, where you can actually create these ads yourself, create these sort of frameworks yourself, and actually create killer ads. And it all comes down to copywriting and understanding that it's all about cause and effect. But the main point of this video is, yes, you did get clickbaited. And yes, you're about to learn how to make these ads all by yourself if you actually understand what I'm about to teach you today. Click off the video if you're scared of hard work. If you're not scared of hard work and you want the rewards associated with that, well, you better watch the end of this video. Well, listen, if you're new to the channel as well, by the way, before I do get into it, my name's Ganor. I make these videos to make scaling to 8 figures easy for health and wellness e-commerce brands. And it all starts with understanding that copywriting is simply just cause and effect. And yes, I did get ChatGPT to summarize my understanding of this so I can actually explain it to you well. Copywriting is just cause and effect. It's not magic. It's not just words or anything like that. Copywriting is putting the right stimulus, right, the cause in front of your prospects to create the right mental effect you're trying to have as well, which is the effect, okay? Cause and effect. That is all it is. The world is full of cause and effect. Newton's first, third, whatever law, right? It's all cause and effect. If you want them to trust you, you need to give them a reason to trust you. Testimonials, reviews, case studies, authority, before and after. The effect over here is, okay, this seems legit. People like me have tried this before. This probably works. I can trust this brand. That is the game. It's all about cause and effect. And that is the first thing you need to understand if you want to make killer ads like these and somehow be able to sell bed sheets from inflammation. Like, honestly, it blows my mind every time I watch this ad. How the hell did we go from arthritis to selling a bed sheet? Just imagine that. And this ad is ripping right now, so you better take notes, okay? That is the game. Every line, every visual, every claim, every proof point, every CTA, and every section of the funnel is either creating an effect you want or creating an effect you don't want. Understand this. Every single piece of stimulus, including this video right here, whatever I'm saying to you, it's creating an effect in your mind. Now, it's up to me whether I'm actually creating the right effect or the wrong effect. I want you to have the mental effect of understanding that, okay, I want to actually learn the fundamentals and create this myself. I don't want to rely on templates. So I gave you that analogy of the fish, how I want to feed you for a lifetime, not just feed you for a day. I hope that got the effect that I wanted. Maybe it didn't, right? Maybe you give me the feedback. But it's all about cause and effect. Even if the effect is, I do not care, this is boring, which you might have had, some people might have already had that effect and clicked off the video. I have heard this before. It feels scammy. I am scrolling. That is still an effect. So the question is not, what framework should I use? The better question is, what mental effect do I need to create next? Now, the best framework is built from the prospect's mental journey. A lot of people will try to just build ads by ripping frameworks. Like, they might just go and take the transcript off this, off Motion or something, and then just say, okay, this is what they did here, this is what they did here, and they just go off the basis of that. They look at the winning ads, they're like, what hook did they use? Okay, cool, let me go analyze the hook. What structure did they use? What format? What videos? What words? What CTA, That is useful, but it's very, very surface level. It's just giving you a fish to eat today. It's not giving you the tools to actually fish so you can eat for a lifetime. You need to ask, what mental effects was this ad actually creating? Because that is the reason the ad actually works, not because of the structure or the format or anything. It's the psychological effects that are happening in the reader's mind or the viewer's mind. And yeah, that's basically what I just said there. A winning ad may work because it makes the viewer stop scrolling, feel curious, feel understood, realize they have a problem, feel the problem more deeply, believe there is a new solution, trust the product, feel safe, and take action. The real framework is not the external structure. The real framework is actually the internal journey. It doesn't matter what you're getting them to do, it's what's happening up here. It's all about the brain. This is where everything goes on. Like whatever actions happen through our body is literally all in here. You have to understand this. Every prospect has a bridge that they need to cross. Like this prospect who was watching this video right now, even Louise Gill, right? She started somewhere and we had to bridge a sort of gap in her mental psychology to her buying a product. And I'll explain what I mean. Every prospect starts on one side of the bridge. That side might be unaware, distracted, skeptical, problem aware, solution aware, product aware, interested but not convinced. Maybe they're, solution aware, burned by similar products before, curious but not ready to buy. On the other side of the bridge is the purchase. So they're starting over here, and this is where we want them to go. This is where they actually go ahead and they buy the product that is supposed to be a star. And this is where they are right now, their current situation. This is a bridge that we're actually building, okay? Your job as a copywriter, because when you write copy, you're a copywriter now, is to figure out what the mental steps you need to take to actually cross that bridge. What are the mental steps that they need to actually take to cross that bridge to eventually get to the purchase? For example, an unaware ad like this one might be stop scrolling, become curious, recognize the problem, feel like the problem applies to them, understand why the problem matters, feel the urgency or fear around the problem, discover that there is a solution, understand why this solution is different. It's probably not that hard to understand, like bed sheets can't get more different than that. Believe the product can actually help, trust the proof, feel safe buying, and actually take the action. You can see this right over here as well, like literally trust. Trust is right over here. Where is it? All these testimonials. This is stimulus put in front of the prospects actually watching this as a way for them to gain trust. That is the mental effect it actually has, right? And that is the actual real funnel. The ad, landing page, advertorial, product page, checkout are just physical assets, literally just stimuli that move people through the mental steps. The first effect is always attention. Now, this is the fourth thing that I want you to understand. In an unaware ad, this is especially important if you're creating unaware ads. The first effect is always attention, catching attention. You need them to stop scrolling. And honestly, I would honestly analyze how this ad actually hooked people. Like honestly, just understand this, do some learnings. If you're obviously in this market, then you might want to do it. Maybe you want to do it to some winning ads in your industry, right? But honestly, understand, why did this ad actually hook? There wasn't some random thing. It wasn't some guy swinging a baseball bat. Like I'm sure you've seen that sort of hooky clip. I'm sure you've seen all these weird random hooks that hook people in. Why did this hook someone in? Just watch that for a second.
You don't have arthritis, you don't have cancer, you don't have all these health disorders.
Just think about that. Those first 3 to 5 seconds, right? It's always attention. You need them to stop scrolling. Before they trust you, before they believe you, before they want your product, buy from you, they need to actually pay attention, okay? So the first question is, what stimulus will actually cause them to stop? It could be a bold visual, right? Could be a strange statement. Maybe this is a strange statement. Think about that. Maybe it's a relatable problem. Maybe it's a pattern interrupt. Maybe it's a shocking disbelief. You could even say it's a mix of them, right? You could even say that this is actually a pattern interrupt as well, because this has no music. Like a lot of the stuff when you're scrolling has music. This has no music.
You don't have arthritis.
It doesn't have any music. It's a pattern interrupt. Is it a shocking belief? Is it a direct call out? Is it some people who just believe that they might have arthritis or something like that? Do they have any other problems, right? A strong emotional moment as well, a curiosity gap, a contrast they have not seen before. Okay, the hook exists to actually create the effect of attention. It does not actually create attention. Sorry, if it does not create attention, it has failed. It does not matter how good the rest of the ad is if nobody obviously gets there. The hook is the most important thing. If you were to focus on something, just focus on the bloody hook, because the hook is the most important thing. Hook lesson over, okay? After attention, you need to create the sequence of the next effects. Once you have the attention, the next question is, what do I need them to think, feel, or believe next? This is where people get super lazy and they would rather just rip an ad or just guess what works. They just copy a structure. They literally just go ahead and just fucking break down a structure of an ad, and they're like, yeah, I'll just fucking copy this. That is lazy work. That is why their brands don't scale. But a real copywriter actually thinks through the sequence. First, I need to get them to stop scrolling. Then I need to make them feel like the problem applies to them. Then I need to make them understand the problem. Then I need them to fear the cost of ignoring the problem. Then I need to realize there is a solution. Then I need them to believe my product is the best version of that solution. Then I need them to trust it. Then I need them to feel safe enough to buy. This sequence of events, these mental effects, becomes your framework. It's literally, like I said before, they are in a current situation. You want them to go and buy your product. There are certain mental hurdles that they will have to cross, mental steps they'll have to take to actually get there. And this has to be in a sequence as well. They can't fear the cost of ignoring the problem without stopping scrolling first. They can't fear a problem without understanding it first, right? So you can actually start to really think about this on a deeper level. It takes a lot of mental energy, but it literally takes one of these ads and you crack like $1 million a month and you're like, wow, that was easier than expected, right? It's not because the ADA framework or the PAS framework told you, but because the prospect needs to go through these steps before they buy. These frameworks over here, they're a very simplified version of what actually goes inside the prospect's head, okay? And we've got quite a lot to go, so honestly, I hope you have your notepads out. You might have to watch this video twice, but build an action chain, right? This is something you can also do. Sometimes I do this first to make the sort of process easier. But what actions do you need to actually make the prospect take? You need them to stop scrolling. You want them to keep watching. You want them to resonate with the problem. You want them to understand the problem. You want them to believe there is a solution. You want them to believe that the product is the best solution. You want them to click. You want them to read the landing page. You want them to trust the product. You want them to buy. Once you know the action chain, you can invert this into a stimulus chain. And what is a stimulus? A stimulus is anything you put in front of a prospect that causes an action, whether you like that action or you don't like that action, okay? It doesn't have to be a physical action either. It can be just like a mental thing where they just feel like they trust you more, okay? But stimulus is always there, whether you like it or not. Even nothing being there is a stimulus of nothing being there. Then invert it into a stimulus chain. The stimulus chain is where you ask, what do I need to put in front of them to actually create each mental step or action? Desired effect or action could be I need them to stop scrolling, a strong hook, a visual pattern interrupt, or emotionally charged opening. I need them to resonate with the problem, a specific, relatable problem statement that makes them feel seen. All this comes from your research, okay? I need them to understand my problem. Then a simple explanation, a story or demonstration or contrast, right? Actually get them to understand the problem. All of this comes from your research, by the way. I hope you really understand this. And I say this in literally every video, but you need to be reminded more than you need to be taught. Research is the key to all of this, okay? Research is the key. You can't make anyone resonate with the problem if you don't actually have enough research to understand why the problem exists. You can't get anyone to understand why a problem exists if you don't understand why it exists as well. I had to do this for a chocolate brand that I was actually working with. I'm still working with them, and I literally had to research how sex chocolate works. And it was kind of embarrassing. I had to delete my search history after that, but it was honestly about how sex chocolate works, why some couples just can't get on, you know, and it was a little bit embarrassing, but you have to do what you have to do. You want to get winning ads, you have to fucking go through the pain, right? Another desired action and effect example, I need them to fear the problem, show the consequence of ignoring it, believe that there is a solution, introduce a new mechanism, product, or discovery. Give them hope, right? Anyway, skipping that. Ads, funnels, are different parts of the same mental journey, okay? That is why it is better to think in terms of the funnel, not just the ad. An ad does not always need to do everything. Sometimes the job of the ad is literally just to create curiosity, create attention, introduce a problem, and get the damn click. Sometimes that is all you need to do. That is why some ads work so well that are literally just full of curiosity. Sabri Subi does this a lot, especially if you've read Sell Like Crazy. I think it should be up there in the bookshelf behind me as well. Sell Like Crazy is all about just getting the attention, get the damn click, have an advertorial, and get them to actually sign up or book in a meeting with you, which is more like service-based businesses, but it can be applied to ecom as well. Some ads are literally like that. That is why you need to think of it as a funnel, not as just like an ad, because an ad can literally do the entire job of the selling. An ad can literally just get a click and the landing page does the job of the selling, right? It's more so think about it as a funnel and how you're actually going to have that different stimuli in the funnel. Now, something I do want you to know as well is for different types of consumers, you might want different types of funnels. A person, like an older person, can sit through like a 5 minute VSL and literally just be sold there on the spot. But someone who's in a younger demographic might not be able to do that. They might want to click, okay, cool, read through, click again, read through, click again. And they're going through this mental journey of actually buying your product, okay? You need to understand that as well. But another quick thing, by the way, disclaimer, no copy is too long or too short. It's just like, does it actually help you achieve the outcome you want? And does it take your prospect through the mental journey they need to actually go through? I hate when people are like, oh, this ad is too long or this is too long. Yeah, it might be too long, but it's too long for them to keep watching. It's not holding their attention. There is literally chicks yapping on TikTok for like 20 minutes. And people literally watch through the entire video. This is why. Even you watching this video right now, I don't know how many minutes it's been. I think it's been like 5 to 10 minutes. You're still watching this video because it's probably some sort of entertaining, or you're getting some sort of mental effect that tells you to keep watching, right? And now, okay, cool. Then the landing page advertorial does the heavy lifting, explain the problem, introduce the mechanism, build belief, show proof, handle objections, present the offer, get the purchase, okay? So you do not judge a piece of copy in isolation. You judge it by asking what mental effect is part of the funnel, is this part of the funnel supposed to create? If your ad's job is literally just curiosity, then judge it on curiosity. Don't judge it on the fucking ROAS, please. Just fucking judge it on the click-through rate. Honestly, I can't stress that enough. If your landing page job is belief, then judge it by how well it builds belief. Some people literally create advertorials for the sake of creating a fucking advertorial. Do not do that. Only create something if it has a job. A product page job is to build trust, conversion, and then judge it by how well it actually removes doubt and makes them buy as well, okay? Like, fucking judge for the job they actually have. This is why some ads can completely rip going to a product page and others fail miserably. It's because of the mental steps, okay? Awareness levels change the sequence as well. When your prospect starts mentally, where your prospect starts mentally also depends on their awareness level. And unaware prospect needs different sequence than a product aware prospect as well. You may need to create attention, curiosity, problem recognition, problem relevance, fear of problem, solution awareness, product awareness, belief, trust, purchase intent, if you're creating an unaware ad. If you're creating a problem aware ad though, you may only need attention, deeper emotional resonance, frustration, hope that there is a solution, belief in your mechanism, trust in proof, action. Okay, for your solution aware, same thing. Like, you just cut out these parts over here, right? Solution aware, differentiation, proof, mechanism. This is why a lot of you, by the way, are guilty of only creating ads that are like product aware or most aware, because they are the easiest. You just give them certainty, give them urgency, offer clarity, final push to buy. This is why blindly copying frameworks does not work. A framework that works for product aware markets fails miserably in an unaware market or in an unaware ad, okay? A mental bridge is different, so the copy has to be different as well. Okay, this is how you actually study winning ads properly. So you can actually still study winning ads, but not just copy them, because it's very important. I would definitely encourage you, literally take this link right over here. I'll literally copy it, and I actually don't know how I'm going to paste it or send it to you. Parasocially, I can't send it to you, but go fucking literally put that link in your browser and just go ahead and analyze this ad. You know, what effect is the hook actually creating? Why does the opening actually stop attention? What curiosity gap is being created? What problem is being introduced? What belief is being built? What emotion is being intensified? What objection is being removed? What proof is being shown? What makes the CTA feel natural? What stage of awareness is this ad actually speaking to? What part of the funnel is this ad preparing the prospect for? If you just go over here and you go to their link, you can probably guess that, okay, they have done a lot of the heavy lifting in the ad, because this is literally just a product page with maybe a little bit more information for them to buy to make them most aware, right? Just the 5 stages of awareness again: unaware, problem aware, solution aware, product aware, most aware. They're just trying to make them most aware with the product page over here. This is how you actually reverse engineer ads properly, and you're not just stealing the structure, you're actually understanding the psychology. So it's good. You need to know what a winning ad looks like. I would be very disappointed if you didn't analyze winning ads, because you need to know what it actually looks like. All right, so the cause and effect copywriting framework, the process is very simple. Literally take a screenshot of this. Identify where the prospect is right now mentally. I'll actually let you take a screenshot. There you go. Identify where the prospect right now is mentally. Identify where you want them to be before they buy. List all the actions that they need to take mentally. List all the mental effects required for those actions. Identify the stimulus needed to create the each effect. Sequence those effects in the correct order. Build the ad or funnel around that sequence. Check every line by asking, what effect is this creating? That is the framework. Not just what hook should I steal, what mental effect do I need to create right now, and what stimulus will create it. Example, building an ad or funnel from cause and effect. Let's say you are selling a supplement to an unaware audience. This obviously wasn't a supplement, this is a bedsheet. They do not know they have a problem yet. The mental journey may look like this. So I'm going to analyze this ad here for you. This is my first time analyzing this ad as well. I only watched the start of it because I really do want to do it with you over here. And I want you to actually understand how this ad actually works. So if I do have any slip ups here or there, forgive me, but let's go.
You don't have arthritis, you don't have cancer, you don't have all these health disorders. What you have is chronic inflammation.
So first of all, what I can see, first of all, the first thing I literally see is the anti-inflammatory secret is out. So obviously this market might already know about anti-inflammatory. Maybe they've already been trying a few things, right? She's obviously saying you don't have all these diseases or these disorders that you think you may have. So obviously these people suspect that there is something wrong with them, right? I haven't done the market research on this, but that is what I actually suspect. It also has a good pattern interrupt where there's literally no music at all, so it's very different. It's also positioning her as an authority, so they actually want to listen to her. It's literally a 4-minute long ad, so I might not end up analyzing all this, to be honest. It'd be taking hours over here, because every 3 seconds I like stop and, actually analyze it. But listen carefully, the anti-inflammatory secret is out. So it's obviously just catching attention and bringing in curiosity. That is the main thing over here.
You don't have cancer, you don't have all these health disorders. What you have is chronic.
I think another thing that could actually be causing them to stop is the fact that it's like cancer and all these arthritis, like all these big issues that they're like, hold on, wait, what? Like, I need to listen to this because it's obviously older people. If you look at, I don't know who this is, but she looks pretty old from her profile picture. Where is she from? Nigeria. Nice. Add her as a friend. Louis Gill, she looks like an older lady as well. So they obviously are very curious because they're in a stage of their life where they actually are concerned about getting diseases, right? If we open up more comments, I'm sure we can see more of that stuff.
Inflammation. To most people, inflammation means you sprain an ankle, it balloons up, turns red and sore, and it's inflamed. No, inflammation is different than that.
There we go, opening a curiosity loop. Like, okay, wait, I thought inflammation was like that, right? Opening up a curiosity loop, then no, wrong. It's literally like one of those hooks where it's like, you should do this, right? Wrong. And then that just creates the curiosity loop.
We go to a doctor with a list of complaints, but a lot of it is silent inflammation, including my specialty, heart disease. Heart disease is an inflammatory process. So how do we reduce inflammation?
There we go, heart disease. It's just opening all these curiosity loops, right? Really sit down and analyze this and honestly ask all these questions that I've just listed over here. Where is it? Right here. What the effect the hook is actually creating, right? What is the opening that actually stops tension? What is the curiosity gap being created? It's like inflammation is not what you actually believe it to be. What is the problem being introduced? It's like literally talking about such high risk problems that someone may have. You're obviously going to keep watching. Just think about that. Listen to that as an older person would.
Specialty disease.
Heart disease.
Heart disease is an inflammatory process.
Okay, so I don't know about something and it could be causing me heart disease. Think about that. I don't know about something and it could be causing me heart disease.
So, how do we reduce inflammation?
So how do we reduce it? Okay, cool. I can actually reduce this. Let me think.
Inflammation is produced by neutrophils.
So actually educating them, right? And this is why research is just so important, because if you don't understand research and you don't understand your own product, the solution, the problem, and how it actually solves the problem, then you're never going to be able to create ads like these. Now, I thoroughly do actually recommend you that you actually go and analyze this ad yourself. It would take probably another hour of recording for me to actually go through all this. This video is not about that, but yes, I do want you to actually go analyze it, understand why it actually works. Now, example, building an ad or a funnel from cause and effect for a supplement, right? For an unaware audience, to get them to stop scrolling, that is step one. We need their attention. A strong hook or a visual pattern interrupt. A strong hook depends on the market that we're actually selling to. Make them recognize that they actually have a problem. We need them to say, oh, wait, this might apply to me, right? Open a curiosity loop. A relatable symptom or daily frustration. You could even say Actually, I won't give you an example. I might butcher it over here. So that's just how you would actually go ahead and making the stimulus. Make them care about the problem over here. Emotional weight is the effect that you actually need. So you want them to really just say, "Oh fuck, like this is serious. Like I might need to actually consider this," which is what this ad does really, really well. You want to be careful. You don't want to fearmonger them, right? This is what Ilea was doing, and that's why they got banned. You can show them the consequence of ignoring it. Introduce the possibility of a solution, hope and curiosity. Literally what we just went through here. Neutrophils, all that stuff. Educating them, right? New mechanism or discovery. Make the product feel like the best solution. By the way, this is something that was very subtle in this ad, but this lady is explaining it to an audience, right? That's what it looks like. It might be AI, but she's explaining it to an audience. So it's building that sort of credibility as well, right? We need belief, that is the mental effect. Explain why the product is actually different. We need to remove doubt, so trust, reviews, proof, demonstrations, authority, which is what she just did, right? A very skeptical audience, by the way, these older people, so you need to actually lead with authority. Get the purchase, action, clear CTA, offer, urgency, risk reversal. Now, this isn't exactly the mental steps that you need to take. It all depends on your market and your awareness levels and all that, but you need to actually plot it out, and this is how you can actually start to plot it out as well, and then you get your framework for your ads. The big mistake that beginners actually make is beginners use these frameworks without actually understanding why the framework works. They say, I just need a hook, problem, proof, CTA, PAS, whatever, and then they don't actually ask, why does this hook exist? They don't ask, why does the effect what effect is the problem section actually creating? Does the reader even care about this? Is the proof coming too early? Have I built enough belief? Am I actually asking for the purchase too soon? What mental step am I missing? This is one of the key important questions you can ask yourself. What is the mental step that I'm actually missing? And that is why their copy just feels fucking mechanical, like they're just writing sections, not actually moving the reader. Every single line has to make people read the next. Now, the final takeaway here is the best framework is not the one that you steal. The best framework is the one you build with the mental effects your prospect needs to experience. Copywriting is just cause and effect. The world is just cause and effect. Every line is a cause. The reaction in your prospect's mind is the effect. And your funnel is just a sequence of mental effects that move someone from where they are now to the purchase. The end. Okay, before you do click off the video, if you are a health and wellness brand doing 6 figures a month and you're struggling to scale to those 7-figure months and you can't for the life of you figure out how you're going to get there, you should probably click the first link in the description. It's not a course or a webinar or some funnel or some free training. It is literally just a video designed to get you to book in a call with me. If it actually applies, I'll just explain exactly how we could actually help you. Full transparency, it's a funnel designed to sell you something, but I mean, if we can help you, then I think we should actually sell you our products so we can actually help you. But anyway, that's it for this video. Don't feel obligated to click the link, by the way. It's just literally just a link explaining how we can help you. You don't have to click it. Don't really care if you do or not. But if you like the video, then do feel obligated to like the video because YouTube will show you more quality content. If you have any questions, suggestions, comments, anything you want to tell me to fuck off, tell me in the comments. If you do have any interest in watching any future videos of mine, then you should probably subscribe because chances are we're never going to see each other again. So yeah, I'll talk to you all soon.